Welcome to Jay's Kitchen. If you are my valuable subscriber, welcome back. So today at Jay's Kitchen we are making a pizza. It's not an ordinary pizza. As always, there are twists and turns. I used to go to pizza house, and one day I thought, like, why would I give a try to make the pizza at home? And again, as Jay's Kitchen, you always see these twists and turns. So I make a little twist to it, and since then we haven't been back to pizza. Always going with Jay's Kitchen mission statement. You will see tons of local ingredients in today's creation. So stay tuned. For the ingredients wise, to make the dough, we're gonna use some flour, sugar, salt, olive oil, and some dry yeast. And here we add our flour, and we're gonna start lightly seasoning with some sea salt. Mix it well, and then we're gonna add touch sugar to our yeast mix. Add a drizzle of olive oil and mix all together. Add our yeast and sugar mix little by little and keep mixing at the same time. While mixing all these ingredients together, and you will see it's formed into a certain type of dough. You can knead a little by using some dry flour. Drizzle some olive oil and make it a shape of a round dough. We're gonna cover our dough with a dry cotton cloth and leave it about 45 minutes to an hour. And you will see the quantity has almost been doubled. Whereas here we can use this dough for 2 portions. Into our pizza ingredients, prosciutto, extra virgin olive oil, some sea salt, dried oregano, classic pesto, some local fresh Bermudian onions, as well as local sweet basil, sun-dried tomato, red chili, some button mushrooms, local cherry tomatoes, some fresh arugula from our Belinda's home garden, some garlic fine herb cheese, fresh mozzarella, ricotta, and some creamy goat cheese. Here I'm going to roast my garlic. A complete tutorial of how to roast garlic, you can always watch my pan-seared salmon video. Here we are start kneading our dough. You can always use a rolling pin, and doesn't has to be a round shape. Could be square shape or any shape that you like. Have a little border around it. And here we are using the gravity to make it a thinner dough. But again, feel free to use a rolling pin. As you see, I'm using my thumb to make a slight border on my dough. We're going to use this border as a guideline when we're spreading our pizza sauce. Thinly sliced onions, and we're going to slice our mushrooms. And here we are caramelizing our onions. We have our sliced cherry tomatoes and sun-dried tomatoes. And we're gonna finally chop our red chili, because you know Jay's Kitchen like it spicy. Adding this sweet basil to our pizza will give you lots of fragrance. A spoonful of brown sugar, and then we're going to deglaze our pan with some water so our onions won't be burnt. And when you see this golden brown color, that means your onions are ready. Take our slow roasted garlic out of the oven, which has been there for about a half an hour, and just unwrap it. Add our roasted garlic in the pan with a touch of olive oil, and we're going to saute and mash it at the same time. Once the garlic has been sauteed, we're gonna start adding some cheese. First we're gonna add our fine garlic and herb, and then we're gonna add a couple of good spoonful of our ricotta cheese. Touch cream and some dry oregano, a spoonful of classic pesto, and season with sea salt and black pepper. Simmer for about a couple of minutes and our white sauce is done. Start spreading the sauce evenly and generously on our dough, and make sure you keep the border around it as a guideline. Garden fresh arugula, fresh prosciutto, our sliced button mushrooms, and a generous amount of our caramelized onions. Add our sliced cherry tomatoes. As you see, I have added our chopped sun-dried tomatoes and our chopped red chilies, but I made sure I have only add those chilies in my half of the pizza. After adding chunks of our creamy goat cheese, we are one step closer. I'm using this white truffle oil to give that extra crunch and fragrance. Drizzle some on your dough as well as on your ingredients. White truffle oil has a very strong flavor, so a touch will go a long way. And now we are ready to put this bad boy in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once your dough looks golden brown color, that means your pizza is done. And trust me, it looks amazing already. Final touches, another drizzle of white truffle olive oil, and our chopped sweet local basil, and finally a pinch of pink Himalayan crystal salt. Jay's Kitchen Pizza Bianca, done. I'm pairing my pizza with this Bonterra Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley. This wine is 100% organic and biodynamic, means hasn't been used any fertilizer during viticulture and vinification, which you really taste the difference. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please make it at home. Take pictures, hashtag Jay's Kitchen BDA. Please subscribe, like, comment and share like you always do. More exciting things coming for next few weeks. One thing I'm going to introduce mixology at home, so you can make some nice cocktails and invite friends and have a good time in another episode of Jay's Kitchen. Until then, cheers.